coincide with Allah as Lord, with Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as the messenger, and Islam Medina, or Islam as a way of life. We want to talk today about, I consider it a high level of Islam and a high level of reality, and so just bear with us. There's a key event. Just the other day, I think it might have been Sunday, I made a little announcement that we're going to go out the next day and we're going to take our little speaker and da-da-da-da-da, and we're going to go to the dentist's office, and we're going to go to the auto place. Both of those places have really abused their situation a lot. But technically it wasn't abuse, it was cooperation. Cooperation with their own downfall. And the United States government has done nothing to us except cooperate in its own downfall. We'll try to explain that. Now, of course, anyone would understand that we have some knowledge of who we're working with and what we're dealing with during today's time. So what I said was last Sunday was for a certain reason. Now, after I said what I said in class, that night, let's say 9:30 or 10 o'clock, I get a call. And the call was from the dentist's office, from the secretary. They don't use, this is Sunday night, there's no reason to call. But we got a spot for you in the morning. Can you get by at 9 in the morning? I said, sure. So we got by there, and they was telling me again that we took pictures of your teeth, and we want to pull today 2 of them, and later on the whole 4 on this side. I said, absolutely not. So again, they stalled, because when I told them that last week, that's why they stalled all the last week, because of course, if you were to look at my teeth, you would see that there had been, just like the auto place will fix your car on one end and set something else up to come apart soon. It's the same thing they've been doing over at the dentist's office for a long, long time. Of course, I've been knowing it. So not only that, but all the other things that go on. So what Allah will give you when you really ask for it properly is sabr. And the hadith talks about various types of sabru wa nifsul iman. A lot of people have heard that getting married is a perfection of half of your faith. And that's true. Then there's another hadith, it's called As-Sabru Jamilan, a beautiful patience. And when we combine those ideas, it's talking about a historical, by the gift of time, all of that stuff, walas, all those things fit together at a certain time if you are tuned into it. That there's this, what we always call tafweed and rida. Tafweed is when Musa says that I turned my whole self over to Allah. In other words, I put all of my affairs in the hands of Allah. Okay. Tafweed. And then rida is when you are happy with what you receive. Okay, now over a long period of time, you fancy yourself as a fast runner or an organizer or whatever, and we've always been into pre-planning and organizing. And the more we got into this stuff, it was like, hey man, we gonna set Bossman up. Why would we want to set Bossman up? Because you go back over 40 years ago, the first go round in this, or you can call it first and second go round. Bossman got full charge of everything. And I remember when I was in 3300, that's the LA County Jail, and I came from South America, and I had several $1,000s, and I was to turn myself in to, and that was based on a signal, because I had a big meeting. In fact, we was at my son remembers the Country Club Hotel in Tijuana, Mexico. See, I wouldn't come across the border, but we had a big meeting. There's the racetrack over there, a big parking lot, and then there's the big, beautiful hotel. So my oldest son remembers that meeting very well. So I had a big meeting there, and I had all the Negroes come down. And there we had structured and planned our next move. We just gonna bam, hit this cracker and bust him up wide open. And we're going to, this is the Negro level of, this is what we did at that time. We put together the package that I'm living in Colombia at this time, and I would go between Colombia and Mexico from time to time. And my idea was already in process. We would purchase property all along the border, and we would send things up there and then send it over the border a little bit at a time. Not a little bit, but then it would be considered a lot. Because we wanted the Negro to control something for a change. And this is before the Colombians were coming up here and got connections up here. Right. Yeah, see. Yeah. Took a while. Okay. Right. Now imagine if I go down there in 71 or 72 and I see, bop, that's the situation. So automatically the little tools that you have going is what we'll do. They produce it. They get it to us. We transport it, and then we distribute it. Because the Negro never controlled nothing, nor did they even think about running the whole show. But that's the way I thought like that. So we had the meeting, and I had my friend bring me, I was on a new wild, not wild, but free as a bird trip. So I had him buy me, at that time, a Honda 750 was the biggest bike that the Honda made. Now they make them up in the zillions. But that was big enough. A 550 is big enough to ride. But so the 750 was big enough that now I'm going to go all down the Pan American Highway. And then I'm going to go, I have freedom of movement, more or less. I don't have to get a plane. I don't have to do nothing. I can zip, 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 in and out, and on a bike. And I left Tijuana, and I was headed across, I guess it's called Highway 2, and then the highway ran out. And so the sand popped up. But then the asphalt popped up again. So luckily I had a helmet on and everything, but I took a dive. Now they tell you that you're not a real rider until you take a dive. Well, I took a dive. Now I told right in back of me was a tow truck, a Mexican tow truck. Or not if they was waiting for it, but they was just they was there. So they drove me up to the border, and we took it, put it outside of the Honda shop in Mexicali, I believe it was. That's right on the border. Then, but that was a sign. That was a signal. Just like the thing today, yesterday, day before, when I put certain things out and certain things happened, that was a sign. It was not only a sign, but it was a sign for this whole period. Now, you don't know when the sign or the signal is going to come. The sign I got in 73, I looked at it and I took it. I said, that means it's time for you to wrap this stuff up and clean up this whole thing and go on in and take care of it. After all, number one, you're rich. You're richer than when you got started down there. You're rich and you're healthy. I mean, since you didn't have nothing to do, you get on a health trip, and all kind of, well, I lived off mostly vegetables and fruits. And believe it or not, my average weight was my lowest weight was 165 or 64. And I never got over 100 and something. I never got anywhere close to 200 pounds. And I mean, I'm of course same size now. And I lift iron every day. In fact, I did it almost twice a day. Walked in the morning up in the hills. I'm talking about the only time I was juicier was now than then. I mean, just juiced up. So anyway, that was a sign. That motorcycle going down, it was a sign. That okay, that means something. So all the way on the ride to the border and hanging out at the border for a minute, I said, well, I'm going to take care of all of this. Because number one, I done been over in Africa and the black movement is dead. Technically, I don't have any more reason to make money because the reason I was doing that is to make money for the brothers. And I had just came back from overseas. They wasn't in Algeria. When I went to Tanzania, that's where Pete was. And the brothers was all over Africa. I left a little something, whatever it was. And then so actually, I had set up for this, but when your heart is not in it, so a lot of people don't follow their little hints and stuff. And at that time, I did, just like the other day. Like the reason I'm doing this now is because of what happened the other day. It would be this happens all the time. But at this time, uh, the little tooth thing, the way the people react and all that, it was this time to do this. I mean, I've been working on this all the time. I got just tons of stuff. I've been working on this all the time for decades. I mean, here's the thing, how to punk the FBI. Man, this thing is back in 2007. That must be 15 years ago. 2007. Yeah, that's 15 years ago. I mean, how to punk the FBI and all that, that ain't. So this thing about redundancy and the ability to go over things over and over again, I'm gonna try to speed this up because without explaining every little detail, I'm gonna just go on into it. So it come to me at the dentist's office. Well, when they called Sunday night, that was a click off. I said, okay, that's it. So when they called me, I got prepared and da 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 da, and I've been taking notes. And this is what I'm going to talk about today. This is the answer to a great